Is Le'Veon Bell on his way to the Miami Dolphins? Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, ready to talk about this juicy rumor here. So for those of you that don't know, Le'Veon, he is a free agent running back as it stands right now. And Bell to Miami, this was trending all over Twitter. And when I saw this, I was like, okay, let me try to get into the crux here and really figure out why that this story is trending the way it is. So apparently, the Dolphins posted a picture of all their draft picks, okay? And apparently, right, this is my favorite thing about social media, Le'Veon Bell replied, yes, indeed, in terms of like, I don't know if he liked the picks or what it was. And then that basically spiraled out of control of the Dolphins, all their people on Twitter saying, okay, is Le'Veon Bell going to come to Miami? Is he going to come here? And then everyone started debating, yes, no, yes, no. So guess what I'm going to talk about? The potential of Le'Veon going to Miami. He's 6'1", 225-pound running back out of Michigan State, 29 years old. But my best memories of him are the olden days. Like if you played fantasy football 5-6 years ago, if you had Le'Veon in your team, you're sitting there like, all right, man, I'm ready to be able to rock and roll because he was once great. The real question here is, though, is he still an elite running back? Now, if you guys are subscribed to Chat Sports, what I want you to do right now is spam S in the comments. So if you're a diehard NFL fan, if you've been subscribed to our channel, what I want you to do is go ahead and start spamming S. I'm going to give some shout-outs to some of the people that are subbed to Chat Sports right now. I see Shanav down there in the comments. I got Josh Simon. Appreciate you. The King Higgins. We got Lisa. And then we got Manny Villegas, Dark Man, Keith Booker. It's Devin Booker. John Simon. Let us know down there in the comments if you're subscribed to Chat Sports. If you're not, what are you waiting for? Help us get to 250,000 subs. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Let's look at Le'Veon Bell's stats with the Kansas City Chiefs last year. 63 carries, 254 yards, average 4.0 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. I remember when ESPN was like, are the Kansas City Chiefs going to be unbeatable with Le'Veon Bell? I literally laughed out loud because not that he was not a good running back, but he's not the Le'Veon that we remember. Now, let's also look at what he did for the New York Jets in his limited time span because he started the year out in New York. Things weren't going the way he wanted, and then he ended up going out and going to the Chiefs. 19 carries, 74 yards, 0 touchdowns. But you know what? I don't want to just look at 2020 because it was a weird year. How about we look at the 2019 stats from Le'Veon? 245 carries, 789 yards, 3.2 yards per carry, and 3 touchdowns. Obviously, not what you're looking for, but you got Adam Gase. You got a really rough offense. You have a questionable Sam Darnold. There was a lot of things not going his way, sure. But there's the best way to be able to prove to you that I personally believe that Le'Veon might be a little bit washed up right now. If it's, you go through and look at some of his other stats, and one of those stats is, sure, the playoff stats here, where he had only 2 carries, 6 yards, had 3 targets, and no receptions. But let's also go through and look at maybe some of his past years, right? Like his rushing stats, where you could see from 2017 to 2013, some of old Le'Veon's stats. And this is with the Pittsburgh Steelers, because the reason why that this story caught wings and really took off is because Bell still has that name value. Like, if I go up to most people down the street, like, hey, you know who Le'Veon Bell is? They're an NFL fan. They're like, oh, yeah, that's that guy from Pittsburgh, right? Because he put up this type of production. I hate to break it to every NFL fan out there. I hate to break it to all Miami fans out there. You're not going to get this type of production. I'm sorry. But the other thing that he really did was he kind of transcend that running back position where they don't have to just be between the tackles. They could also catch the football. And, I mean, you're telling me right now a running back with 85 catches, 75 catches, and 83 catches, kind of before it was popular for running backs to have that many catches. I mean, that just goes to show how great he personally was. So I get all the hype. I get everyone getting excited about it. But my job here is this. Give you my opinion and tell you whether or not I think Miami should sign Le'Veon Bell. So before I give you my answer, what do y'all think here? Go down in the comments section and let me know. The Dolphins, they might have a need at this position. And going into the 2021 NFL draft, you know what? They were sitting there saying like, hey, we do need to go out and find a running back. So should the Dolphins sign Le'Veon Bell, I want you to simply either type yes or I want you to go down in the comments section and type no. I am going to sit here and say no. Stay away from Le'Veon Bell for the simple fact of, well, he might be a little bit washed up at this point. I don't know what type of contract he's going to ultimately want. Plus, I think Miami, not that they're like set at the running back position, but you know what? I'm going to give both, I'm trying to think of the running back coach, what's his name, Gainesville or something like that, Studsville. I'm going to give them a lot of credit for everything that they did in Dorsey as well last year for getting the best out of these running backs here. Gaskin, he was good. Ahmad also did a pretty solid job. Sure, they averaged only 3.9 yards per carry as a team, and sure, 5 different running backs started. However, I might honestly sit here and look at all y'all and say Gaskin with this Dolphins team may be better. Maybe even a guy like Malcolm Brown, who they decided to bring in, potentially better. But, and I get the idea that Bell's got that name value, but guys, don't get always just stuck on the name value. So if you had to pick one, who do you think's the better running back right now? Not 6 years ago, not 3 years ago. Who's going to be the better running back in 2021? If you think it's Gaskin, I want you to type MG. If you think it's Le'Veon Bell, I want you to go down in the comments section and type LB. I'll tell you what, Le'Veon Bell, he might have packed on a few LBs, me too, but I'm going to go ahead and say Gaskin. 24 years old, did a good job last year, 584 yards, 3 touchdowns, also did a solid job being able to catch the ball. But one of the best reasons why I think Gaskin did not get quite enough credit, he was also pretty good in the pass protection game. And when you have a young rookie quarterback, now going to be second-year guy in Tua, that's very important. Now, they also try to, bring in a guy like Jordan Howard, which was an absolute disaster. They also had a guy like Matt Breida. That didn't work out either. So they went out this past year, off-season, I guess I should say, and they brought in Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown's not a home run threat. He's not even a triple threat. Hell, he might not even hit a doubles. But you know what he's going to do? He's going to be consistent. He's going to pick up a solid 4 yards per carry. He's going to fall forward, and if you need to pick up a few tough yards, which you were hoping you'd get out of Jordan Howard, that's what Malcolm Brown's going to be able to do. So you have Gaskin, you have Malcolm Brown. I mean, I actually think you might be okay at the running back position, and realistically, if you want to talk about another person that can play RB, Lynn Bowden Jr., somebody who Miami went out and traded for. He's probably going to be more of your joker player, but I get the idea that everyone got excited about Bell coming to Miami. However, just because you see something trending on Twitter or just because you see a big-time face that you recognize, that doesn't always necessarily mean that it is actually a good thing for this football team, because you have to look at what has happened more recently, not as what's happened in the past. So also, I'll say this. I did a lot of research. I couldn't find any proof whatsoever on any social media platform that Le'Veon Bell actually commented or said anything whatsoever, because I get that, apparently he deleted it, but usually there's a screenshot somewhere. Usually there is some other form of evidence that Bell did it. What I personally think happened is a place, fan-sided, made up some bull crap tweet, made up some bull crap story just to get a few clicks. So all I'm telling you is like this. Don't listen to him. Now, the other reason why I'm going to go ahead and say, maybe Le'Veon was a little bit washed up because, numbers talk, right? So look at these numbers here. Week 17 snaps. This is the snap count for the Kansas City Chiefs. Remember, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, their rookie running back, he went down with an injury. There were 3 running backs that played in Week 17. Darwin Thompson, Darrell Williams, actually, and then technically Sherman, their fullback. But in terms of running back snap counts, I mean, come on, y'all. If you're telling me that Darrell Williams and Darwin Thompson, who I actually like Darwin Thompson, are getting more snaps than Le'Veon Bell even when Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out, that should tell you almost everything you need to know. And then a little bit of a cherry on top, the playoffs, the most important time of the season, Le'Veon has 2 carries for 6 yards, only appeared in 1 game. Oh, at least he got 3 targets, didn't catch any of them. The bottom line is this. Le'Veon was a bad fit in New York. Maybe the reason why he was so great in Pittsburgh is that offensive line and the coaching staff. Big Ben, they had a lot of pieces around him. He's not that dude anymore. So what I want you guys to do right now is really realize that Bell, not that talented. So we're going to play a game before I get out of here. I want you to rate Le'Veon Bell from a scale from 0 to 100. You guys are the Madden creators. I'm putting everything, all the power in y'all's hands. And I want you to rate how good he is from a scale from 0 to 100. So 0, he's absolute trash. He's absolutely washed up. 100, he's the best running back in the National Football League. I'm always going to give people credit for typing 69, so shout out to Burn and Spades for being almost a little bit too quick on that rating. Also, the King says 0.1. Wow, okay. I'm definitely not that low, But honestly, I do think 69 is kind of a fair rating if we're being honest here for Le'Veon. 70 is kind of where I think he's a little bit below average. I'm probably going to be flirting a little bit more with like the 61, 62 range. But please go down in the comments section. Let us know. Rate Le'Veon Bell this upcoming year.